Let's take today's topic. Today's topic is the cell. It is one of the most important topics in your biology syllabus. We'll discuss definition of cell, then we'll move forward the various structure of cell. First of all, we should try to understand about the definition of cell. So when we understand about cell, what we have the first idea in our mind. Cell is the unit of life. That is the first idea striking in our mind. So what does it mean when we say that unit? What is the meaning of unit? We should understand about this word unit. Let's take one very common example. You must have observed that whenever we have the building of homes, when we visit any construction site, we understand, we observe there is one thing is very necessary for the building homes, the building that construction area, that is brick. Without brick will not have the formation of homes, we will not have the formation of the buildings. It means whatever structure is going to be, it is due to bricks. And we know that in our homes we have the various compartment and rooms. We know that we have a dining room, we have a kitchen room, washroom, bedroom. So these rooms are having a various function also. And whatever structures we are observing, it is due to that division, and the division has been done by the bricks. So on the whole, what is the concept? Without brick will not have a proper structure, and whenever will not have a proper structure, will not have a functioning also. That's why cell is the considered as, we are that joining that example with the definition of cell. Same thing in case of our body also. Our body is also made by a unit that is known as cell, and we have a various organs. These organs are uniting together, performing a function, and these organs are also having cells. The unit is cell, but due to that various organs in our body, we have a complex body organization. But on the whole, our body is made by cell. Whatever structure we have, it is due to cell, and whatever function we have, it is due to cell. Whatever functions we are performing, actually these are the functions of the cell. Cell can perform so that we can perform. Let's define cell. Cell is the unit of all organism. So when we write this one unit, so we have a two structure, two names, that is cell is the unit of structure and function. So what is the concept? Cell is the unit of structure and function of all organisms. That is the definition of the cell. It means all organisms, whatever structures we are observing, it is due to cell, and whatever functions they are performing, it is due to cell. Let's take few examples to understand. We observe about unicellular organisms like paramecium, like amoeba. They are having only one cell, and they are capable to perform all vital activities. It is due to that capability of cell. They have the existence of life despite of having one cell. But when we take the example of multicellular, we see the complex body organization. we have that group of cells, they are forming tissue, group of tissue, organ system, then organism. Very many organ systems are uniting together, then we will have the formation of organism. But what is the concept in that one? Whatever we have that different complications due to that complex body organization, but all the organs, they have a unit, that is cell. That structure is common, that is the concept. So my dear students, it is very easy to define. Cell is the unit of structure function of all organisms. When we have this word organisms, we will take both plants as well as animals. All plants, they have cell, all animals, they have cell as unit. Let's take few points regarding discoveries of cell. When we talk about discovery, there is a one scientist and his name was Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was the scientist, and he was the man who discovered cell in 1665. Robert Hooke discovered cell in 1665. He was working in his lab and he cut the slices of cork, and he observed under the microscope after staining. He had his self-made microscope, not advanced one, and when he observed, he got honeycomb-like structure. Honeycomb-like structure. Where? In the cork. Honeycomb-like structure. Honeycomb-like structure in cork. And he called that honeycomb-like structure, he called cell. So that was the discovery of cell. Let me tell you an interesting fact about the discovery. The discovery of cell was completely accidental. Robert Hooke was not focusing on the discovery of cell. He was working in some another project, but he got tired in his lab. He kept on working for a long period of time. He came out, there is a garden in front of his lab. He came out, started walking. He got, there is a dot which was used at that time to that one tie the bottle, to that put the bottle and to lock the bottle, and that dot that time was made by the cork. He took cork, he came back into lab. He wanted to know about the inside structure. He was a damn curious scientist. He cut the various slices of cork, he stained also, and then he put under the microscope, and he got a structure that is looking like a honeycomb-like structure. And that structure he immediately gave name, that is cell. And then we came to know about cell. So that discovery was completely accidental. And after after discovering cell, Robert Hooke started his project, and then there many scientists came and they explained about cell, and he laid the foundation of a new branch of science that we call cytology. What we are calling? Cytology. It is the branch of science where we study of cell. Branch of science where we study of cell. It means we study about cell structure and function both. in this branch, cytology. Nowadays it is a huge branch. We have many research in this one, but that foundation was led by Robert Hooke. That was a completely accidental. After Robert Hooke, we know that that cork was from the plant, and it was detached, so it was dead. So Robert Hooke discovered dead cell. Then after, we had advancement of microscope, because with passing time there are many scientists, they were working upon microscope. They wanted to know those structures what we cannot see with naked eyes. Antony von Leeuwenhoek, a great scientist, he did that various researches in the field of the microbiology. He first of all observed first living cells after the advancement of the microscope. Then another scientist came. His name was Robert Brown, and he was able to get the internal structure of cell, and he got there is a central structure inside the cell which is known as nucleus, and this is the structure which is controlling all the activities inside the cell. As like our brain is controlling of activities of our whole body. Same thing in case of the nucleus also. Nucleus is also controlling the activities of all cells. Let's take another example. Also in our families, the head of the family is taking all the decisions, and others, they have to enact according to the decision, so that they are acting as a nucleus. Then we have next two scientists came, Sliden and Swan. Sliden was botanist, Swan was zoologist. Together they proposed cell theory. That Swan was able to study about the animal cell, and Sliden was able to study about the plant cells, because we are talking about organisms. That's why they together proposed cell theory. They gave few points which is known as cell theory. We'll take on the detailing of the cell theory in the next video. You need to only focus on the work of the scientist. Then we have J.E. Purkinje. He was also a scientist, and he told about there is a living plasm inside the cell. We have a life due to protoplasm. That is, gave the term protoplasm. Inside the cell, when we study, we know that there is a nucleus, and when we discuss about, let me explain you about protoplasm. When we draw the diagram, try to understand. We have this one, nucleus is there, and from the nucleus we have endoplasmic reticulum, like this. Endoplasmic reticulum here is also, it is originating, and inside this one there is genetic material. Here is cytoplasm. This is we call cell membrane. We can also call plasma membrane. This one is we call cytoplasm. And this one, inside the nucleus we have a nucleoplasm, and this structure we call nucleus. So when we have that combining of cytoplasm and nucleus, when we take this nucleus, it means we are taking what is present inside the nucleus. It means whole liquid content inside the cell. Cytoplasm plus nucleus is equal to protoplasm. When we take this one nucleus, we are also taking nucleoplasm. Whole liquid content inside the cell is known as protoplasm, and we know that this is the plasm which is responsible for the continuation of life. It is having all the qualities which is necessary to have life. That is, then next scientist came after Purkinje. His name was Huxley, and he said protoplasm is the physical basis of life. When we have this word physical, I taught you many times, we are talking about movements. Whatever movements we have inside the cell, it is due to protoplasm. So we know that cell is a dynamic structure. It is not a stationary structure. Inside the cell there is a dynamicity, there is a movement, and that movement is due to this structure, protoplasm. Whole the liquid content inside the cell is known as protoplasm. You have a mathematical expression also, cytoplasm plus nucleus is equal to protoplasm. Huxley told that protoplasm is the physical basis of life. Then we will discuss about our next scientist. His name was Rudolf Virchow. He expanded cell theory. After Slidell and Swan gave 2 points related to cell theory. After that there was addition of 1 point, and that point had been added by Rudolf Virchow. And then we had a modern cell theory, and after that we have 3 points after the addition of Rudolf Virchow. What he said will take in the detailing of the cell theory, will discuss in the next video. That is the starting. Let's quickly revise. We have that one. We started cell. This is the name of the chapter, and then we defined cell. What is the cell? Cell is the unit of structure function of cell is the unit structure function of all organism. So that is a unit. I taught you what is the unit means. Then Robert Hooke was the scientist who discovered cell, and that discovery was completely accidental. He got a cork, cut the slices of cork, and after cutting he saw under the microscope and he got honeycomb like structure. He called cell that structure. And after the discoveries of other structures inside the cell, we had a new branch of science that is known as cytology, means study of cell. The branch of science in which we study about cell, it means structure and function. That branch is known as cytology. So we'll meet again. We'll discuss about the cell theory in the next video.